Dear students, today the third lesson, that is a poem. We will have the discussion on children. On Children is a poem written by Khalil Gibran. Khalil Gibran is a Lebanese American poet. Was much supported and inspired by his mother, and his poems are called as theological, philosophical essays. He does not follow rhyme and rhythm pattern, but definitely the poems are worth reading and rereading. In the pre-reading activity, we have some 2-3 questions. The first question is, what do your parents expect of you? This question is very important because today in this century, every parent expects something from their words. The second question is quite opposite to the one, that is, what do you expect of your parents? In the name of individual independence, today children are given more freedom, more independence. That means expectations are also higher and probably not caring the expectations of the parents. Anyway, the poem sometimes gives us the feeling that parents are too possessive and children want to get rid of this possessive or control limitation. Let us try to see. Before I read the poem, the background of the poem is that a woman who comes to the prophet holding her baby in her hand and speak to us of children. That is what she says. That means, tell us about our children. Many of us today don't know how to bring up the children, what moral qualities we have to inculcate in the children. Not only that, even sometimes life has become so stressful and busy that we forget our duties towards the children. Now, the woman says that she wants to know about the children and she is requesting the prophet. Well, he says, that is, prophet says, your children are not your children. I think this first sentence itself shocks us, because we all think that we have given birth to the children means they are our children. But prophet says, your children are not your children, in the sense, they are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. In the sense, they have to come to life whether through me or through any other person, I mean woman. But they have to come to life, they are waiting to come to life, and therefore they come through you but not from you. Look at the prepositions and difference in the meaning. They have come through you. Just imagine, the train goes through the tunnel. Is the tunnel related in any way to the train? No, it gives way to the train. That means parents are like the tunnel who are giving way to the life of the children. The prophet says, though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. Most of the parents today think that children will take care of them in their old age, or they will fulfill the dreams, expectations they had. But the prophet says, they are staying with you, but they don't belong to you. In the sense, you don't have right, you don't have complete hold on your own children. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts. This sentence gives us a lot of meaning, because what is the responsibility of the parents towards their wards? Most of us think that we have to satisfy them by completely fulfilling their demands, and thus we many a times think that because we are their parents, it is our duty. But the prophet says, fulfilling demand is secondary. What you can do is, you can give them love, not your thoughts. Most of the parents say that, yes, I wanted to be a doctor, I could not, and I want that my son or my daughter should become a doctor and fulfill one's dream. But this is wrong. Each soul, each life has his or her own thoughts. The next line Prophet says, they have their own thoughts. You can shape them, you can love them, you can clear their thoughts, but you cannot impose, you cannot put your thoughts forcefully on your children. Prophet says, their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. See the beauty. Most of us know that generation gap is a very important obstacle. Reaching parent to the children or from children to the parent. When we cannot reach our children, most of the children say that you don't understand mama, you don't understand dad, you don't understand these things. Yes, that is true. Therefore the Prophet says that the children's souls dwell in the house of tomorrow. Parents cannot go there. Not only actually, but even in dreams you cannot visit. That means they have independent thoughts. They stay in tomorrow. Parents are today, they were yesterday. Prophet also says that you may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. Most parents force their children to follow the footsteps of them. But it is not necessary, because every human being is individual, independent, different, particular. So, Prophet advises that you try to become like your parents. No, not possible. Parents may try to become like their children. Today we find that the parents are very close to their children. They are as good as friends. But my dear students, sons, daughters, they don't need parents to be friends, because they have already many friends. And due to the age group, they find it difficult to accept parents as friends. So, let the parents try to become like children, but don't expect children to become like parents. He also says that life goes not backward, nor tarries. Tarries in the sense stays. Life does not go backward. You don't have any option like back. In mobile phones, in laptops, we have options, but in life, we don't have option of going back. So, I think we have to remember a poem written by Kipling, Rudyard Kipling. If the poet again and again tries to go back, if I was young, if I was a child, if I was a farmer, is it a possible thing? No. So, life does not tarry with yesterday. Life does not stay. Yesterday is gone and today is present. Children are living in tomorrow. The Prophet also says that you are the bows from which your children as living arrows are sent forth. So, there are two important words here. One is parents, the other one is children. Parents are the bows and children are the arrows. So the Prophet says that you are the bows. Who are the bows? Parents are the bows. From which, through which the arrows are sent forth. Arrows are sent out. Now, there is one more person watching these two. Who is he? Archer. What does archer do? Archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite and bends you with his mind. Remember, he bends with his might. Might in the sense power or strength. He bends the parents with great strength or power. Why does he do so? Because Prophet says, let your that his arrows may go swift and far. How should the arrows go? Swift and far. The parents are the bows, the children are the arrows, and the archer bends the parents with his might, with his strength or power, so that the arrows fly swift and far. Swift in the sense with fast or speed. So the arrows should fly far, high, and also they should fly in speed, with speed. Therefore, there is a small advice to the parents. What is the advice? The Prophet says, let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness. Now, when this strength is used and the parents are bent, they are bent. Parents should not feel bad that due to the children I have to go through so many situations, difficulties or challenges. But this bending must be for happiness. The parents must be happy to bend for their children. The parents must be happy to bend in the hands of the archer. Then he also loves who? The archer. Archer loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. How should be the bow? Bows must be stable. How should be the arrows? Arrows must be flying swift and far. Almighty is not an enemy of the parents. Almighty is definitely helping the parents. He gives them strength to accept the challenges that children put forward. Therefore, the last words are the beautiful ones. I would like to read them once again. He loves the arrow that flies. That means even parents must love. Be happy with whatever achievements. Be satisfied with the achievements of their children. The second thing is, he also loves the bow that is stable. That means parents' responsibility is even more important. The bow must be stable, then only the arrow can fly high, fly swift, fly far. So, the archer is not testing, but definitely he loves the bows and also arrows. But the responsibility of bows and arrows as parents and children is very clear, and therefore in this poem we have a very good message that parents' responsibilities, children's responsibilities are quite different from one another. We have to bring them up as parents and also remember that they are coming through us, not from us. We shall continue our discussion in the next period. Thank you.